And hello everyone, welcome to this edition of Nowhere Videos Meat and Potatoes,
a program that shows you easy recipes for great food.
I'm Todd Hilton.
And I'm Mark Johnson.
And in this edition, we'll be bringing back our salute to breakfast, which we call
Dun, 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 Breakfast Blitz.
This is our salute to the most important meal of the day. And just as in our first season, we're going to each make our own contribution to the final breakfast meal, our attempt to make a complete meal. We're going to start out with Mark, who's going to make our main course, which you're going to be...
I'm just going to make a simple ham and cheese omelet, but I've got a specific pan.
You've got a secret weapon for this.
That's right, yeah. Secret weapon, yeah.
Because I don't know, I've tried to make an omelet before, and mixing it and everything is not the problem. It's actually making it,
folding it
into an omelet. That's the hard part.
You can make scrambled eggs.
Oh yeah, anyone can make scrambled eggs, but
any idiot can do that.
Yeah. Which is why we're here.
That's why we're here.
So, and to follow the main course, I'm going to be making some orange pancakes. Yes, I said orange, something a little bit different. And to go with that, an orange syrup to go with that. And so it's going to be something different. This is actually a variation that I've never tried, so we'll see how it turns out. And so right about now, Mark and I are going to split up into our respective kitchens, which, amazingly enough, look absolutely, totally identical.
Yes. For some reason.
For some reason. We're not sure why. But okay. So with that, going to turn things over to Mark and get started.
Alrighty, folks. We're going to start off with a nice, start off this little breakfast blitz with a nice little 3-egg omelet. First thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up some ham. I got this Hormel extra lean piece of ham here. Yeah, probably not one. Probably don't want to do that. Probably the wrong way to chop things here. So, if you can catch this stuff on sale, it's even better, because this little piece of ham would normally cost you about $7.75. But if you can catch it on like a day or two before the pull date, it's like half price. And that's what I've done. Okay, well, you know, we got a little bit difference here in thickness, because Mark didn't know how to cut worth a darn. Can't cut straight to save my life, people. Yeah, that one's better. So we're going to cube up a slice or two of this, and then once we're done doing that, then we'll get our egg mixture going. Actually, we may only need one slice of this cube. This is quite a bit, actually.
Can't have too much ham and cheese.
No, that's true. I gotta admit, you're probably right about that. Okay, so we got our ham ready to go. So, we're gonna set that aside. That's good. That's good eating. Okay, so we'll set our ham aside there. Alrighty. And as Jack Nicholson once said, I believe it was in Batman, if you want to make an omelet, you gotta break a few eggs. Okay, here you go.
Thank you, I'm Mark Johnson.
Thank you, I'm here till Thursday. Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Yes. There you go. That's a good break.
You just want to make a good, clean break of it, you know? Bloop. Bloop. Okay, now what I try and use is about just a few drops of milk per egg, you know. You don't want it too runny, so you just kind of 1, 2. Okay, and we're going to just whip our eggs. Beat our eggs till they're into submission. Which, coincidentally, just doesn't take too long anymore, you know? I've got an actual secret weapon. I've got an actual omelet pan. You know, spray that with some non-stick cooking spray. Make sure you got the bigger burner because this is going to take up both sides. And we're getting close. We could probably go ahead and put the mixture in. About half on each side. Okay, that's pretty close. We're gonna take some of our ham, sprinkling it each side. And I like Todd's sentiment on this. You can never have too much ham or too much cheese. So you probably don't want to put your cheese in until right before the eggs are done. And if you can find one of these omelet pans somewhere, you know, they actually make a microwavable omelet pan like this that flips over like that. It's plastic and everything. I actually bought one. Safeway had them, and they still do as far as I know. I bought one, and I wasn't real impressed with it because microwave cooking, I mean, yeah, it's gotten better over the years, but it just seems like you end up with part of the eggs that just aren't cooked, and by the time you end up cooking them, you know, it's twice as long as what it says it takes to do this, you know. And it's like, in that amount of time I could pull out this pan, whip up my eggs and my filling ingredients, and pretty much be done. You can see the eggs are starting to set up a little bit, which is good. So now that it's warmed up enough, I'm going to bring it down to about 5. With medium heat, like I said, just so you don't end up burning your eggs on the bottom. You know, I always wonder, you go to like Denny's or wherever and you order an omelet and it's just so perfect. I mean, it's not, you don't have any brown crusty stuff on the bottom. I'm thinking, how do they do it that way? Because it's like every time I try to make an omelet, you know, you get brown, you use too much heat or whatever, and it ends up brown. So yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Actually not, we're cooking with electric, so you know, we don't cook with gas here. We could, but you know, we'll save that for season 3. You just let your eggs cook like normal, and you'll see if we can get a shot in here, Todd, of around the edges. It's cooking around the edges a lot quicker, obviously. Okay, so now we're just waiting for the top portion of our omelet, or the middle portion actually, what will end up being the middle, to cook the eggs, and they have to cook through from the bottom to the top of the pan, which takes a little longer. So what we've done is we've put a lid over the top of it to kind of keep the heat in at the top, and hopefully cook the inside of the omelet a little bit quicker. So we're going to leave that on there for a couple minutes. I've turned the heat down to about 3.5, so it's probably about equivalent of medium-low. so it doesn't sear the bottom really bad. So let's take a peek here and see what that's done for them. Yeah, they're getting there. You can see they're not, the egg mixture isn't moving around as much, so it's getting there. I would say probably about another 2 minutes or so at that heat level, and your eggs should be pretty close to done. So and then once that's done, once the eggs are fairly cooked, then we can take our cheese and start putting it in the side closest to the handle, because then we're going to flip that other piece over, sandwich them together, and voila, you have it on. Okay folks, we're ready to add the cheese. If I can get Todd to get a close-up here, eggs have been cooked pretty much all the way through from the looks of it. It's looking really good. So we're ready to add some cheese. Word of warning, don't put cheese on this side, because when you go to flip it, it's going to go all over the place. So you want to put it on the side closest to your handle.
Side that you're not flipping.
Right.
Can't have too much cheese.
You can never have too much cheese. It's time for our little moment of truth here.
Drum roll, please. There you go. What the other side looks like. It's about the same.
About the same.
Yeah.
Not bad though.
It's Clayton's.
So we're going to set that back over here. So there you have a wonderful little ham and cheese omelet. It's going to go really good with what Todd's going to make. So voila. Viola, as they say over in the old country. Anyway, so that's it from my part of this breakfast blitz. Dun dun dun. And we're going to turn it over to Todd, and he's going to make some wonderful orange pancakes with orange syrup. So take it away, Todd.
All right, folks. Looks like it's my turn now. I'm going to introduce you folks to a version of pancakes that maybe is not as popular, or maybe it's just new. I'm going to make some orange pancakes, and to go on top of those, some orange syrup. This is a recipe that my wife and I came across, and this is actually going to be the first time I'm going to attempt this, so we're going to see how it goes. It should be pretty good. Pancakes are one of those things that you can use just about any fruit, and I mean, you can use blueberries. I'm sure you can use strawberries. We're doing orange, and there's other stuff too. All right, gonna start out by making our pancakes, and I'm gonna back myself into a corner here since I'm too embarrassed to show myself on public television here. I'm gonna start out with the famous bowl. This is the one I always use for scrambled eggs and for pancake makings. Got to start out with a cup of flour. I usually don't go precise measurements on this type of stuff. Usually, you know, I have actually made pancakes quite a bit. My family always enjoys having breakfast for dinner. So again, I do rough estimations here. Okay, tablespoon of sugar. So we need one teaspoon baking powder. Try not to make a mess. This stuff is really easy to become airborne here. So 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And you also need the baking soda. This you only, so just a smidgen. All right, so that's good there. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Got our big container of salt here, and again, I just estimate, so that's not a whole lot. 1/4 teaspoon there. Okay, now the all-important egg. Dun, dun, dun. Told Mark I was going to have to show him how to crack eggs here. I've almost gotten to the point where I can break them in one hand. I'm not quite to that level, but I'm sure I could be with a little more practice. Let's see. 2 tablespoons of orange juice. Now we've actually got two ways you can do this. You could actually have just regular orange juice in a carton, pour it out. I'm going to show you a little something. This is actually something that I just learned how to do today. It's actually pretty cool. Use one of these small oranges. I got a juicer and a small bowl. Now take your sharp knife. You want to cut this in the you have your top and your bottom to your orange. You actually want to cut it right down the middle so that you have basically the core in the center. That way you're going to get your better juice that way. So I'm just going to take that and cut right down the middle here. You do want your oranges slightly soft anyway because they're a lot easier to juice. Okay, so we've got our two halves there. You don't need a lot of orange juice, so that's why you only need one orange. Take your juicer, this little funny little contraption here. You want to hold the orange in the palm of your hand there. You want to grip it a little tight, and what you're going to do is put your juicer right in the middle, and you're going to turn and squeeze at the same time. And look at that. You're getting orange juice. Now I'm sure some folks have the fancy juice machines, and that's fine too. Or if you've got just the cartons of orange juice, that works too. But this way, you're not getting any additives. You're getting it right from the orange. Use your measuring spoon to kind of strain it so that you get more juice. And I'm sure it's not going to kill you if you get some pulp in there. Didn't they make a movie about that once?
Yeah, Pulp Fiction.
Right, it was something like that. Okay. Okay. Now I got 1 tablespoon. I don't know if you can get that shot back in the corner there.
Yep.
That's going to go into our mix. Now we need 1 more. All right. 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed orange juice. Now, my recipe actually calls for buttermilk. I don't have buttermilk, so I'm just going to use regular. And this is just regular 2% moo. So we want 3/4 of a cup. Right on. Okay. I just got a spoon here. Just go ahead and start mixing this up. The fewer lumps, the better. Genuine imitation vanilla. And I am just going to put, you never put a whole lot of vanilla in there. Whoops.
Like that.
Like that. Don't ever do that. As I've said before in our previous shows, I like a lot of flavor. So you know what? That's all good. All right, we've got our griddle, or grill, whatever you prefer to call it, preheated here to 300 degrees. Got my pancake flipper, or one of those things. Anyway, time for some hot cakes. All right. And as I've made pancakes plenty of times in this kitchen, this is nothing new to me. The recipe is new to me. As I said, normally when I make pancakes, I put in cinnamon and vanilla. I did add a little bit of vanilla in here. I can see here, I think this one here is about ready. There we go. That's pancake, folks. This one here looks about good. Yeah, you really don't want them any darker than that. You can have them lighter. Again, this is why you definitely got to be paying attention. You can't go off and and do something while these are cooking, because you will burn them. I take the back side of my flipper. Look at that. It's not sticking to the pan. That means it's done. Yeah, second side is always real fast. definitely the advantage of cooking on a grill. Yeah, look at that, they're all done. All right, we're ready to start the second part of the pancake fiasco here. We're going to make an orange sauce that'll actually go over the top of it, or orange syrup, whatever you'd like to call it. The recipe I have is actually meant for crepes, but what's the difference? All right, you want 1 cup of sugar, and again, you know, measurements. I usually get close. I'm not precise on them, and it's always worked okay for me, at least as far as this type of stuff. You know, if you're making stuff from a box, you probably better do it by the directions, or you end up with soup. At least that's what I found. So we need 1/2 cup of butter or margarine, which I believe is 1 cube. Yep. 1 cube. So we'll take out 1 cube. Now, any of you folks have cooked with sugar over the stove, sugar scorches very easily. So, again, like the pancakes, keep an eye on it. Okay, we're going to raise the bar here to about 1/2 cup. Well, this stuff pours like syrup. Okay. Once again, Todd states the obvious. Okay. Now, we're going to take our syrup. We're going to pour syrup into the pan. We're actually going to use about 1/2 of this, just as it is. At least I'm going to attempt to use 1/2 of it. Probably the best thing to do on this, to get it out of the can, just take a spoon and spoon it out, seeing as how we only have to use about 1/2 of it. Now this has been sitting out for a little while, so it is softened up. We're going to turn this up to, I would say, a medium-high. And go ahead and start stirring this stuff up. This boils up real fast. Once it starts bubbling, it's like, yeah. By the time you realize it, it's already going over. So I've reduced the heat down to, I would say, a medium-low. And basically, you're going to let this simmer for another 5 minutes or so. And then it'll be ready. All right, so now we have our orange pancakes. And to go on top, orange syrup. We have done it once again. In our second installment of Nowhere Videos Meat and Potatoes, Breakfast Blitz! Dun dun dun! Alright then. Our salute to the most important meal of the day. We have a complete meal here, folks. We've got the orange pancakes with matching orange syrup. It's politically correct. It's all orange. Yes. So. It's in fashion.
That's right.
And our main course,
our nice ham and cheese omelet.
these are actually both things that you can experiment with. You can use all kinds of ingredients for pancakes and for omelets.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you like, you throw some onions in the omelet. If you like, I even went to a place where they even had a taco omelet. They used taco meat in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so there's all kinds of variations you can do on those. And the pancakes, again, you know, you can use chocolate chips, blueberries, strawberries, the oranges. I'm sure you could probably use apples. There's just endless possibilities. So it's all good. And now you have a complete meal. Oh, which reminds me, since I only used half a can of the orange concentrate, I used the other half to make some OJ. So there you go. Now you really have a complete meal. Mark's already one step ahead of me. He's got forks ready to go.
Yeah, man. I'm ready.
So it's all good. So we have another successful breakfast blitz, and I don't know about you folks, but that looks pretty darn good. So I'm about ready to eat. Did you eat yet?
No, did you?
No.
You want to?
Alright. Okay. So we're going to enjoy the fruits of our labor, literally.
Yes.
And dig in on another breakfast blitz. So with that, I want to thank everyone out there for watching. For Meat and Potatoes, I'm Todd Hilton.
And I'm Mark Johnson.
Till next time, good taters, good meat.
Good grief, let's eat.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.